So hello, everybody. This is Melissa with Fashion Mingle. And we want to thank you for joining us today to learn about everything that happened with Times Square Fashion Week and all the things that went right about it, all the things that were really big challenges because we were during COVID and we were also putting on an event during COVID, which created a lot of difficult situations. And so I'm going to introduce our panel because we have several of the key players that are here today. First of all, I want to introduce Dee Rivera, the founder of Times Square Fashion Week and founder of DCG Group Media. Dee, how are you doing?
I am recovering, Melissa, as you are as well.
Yeah.
It's good to be here, and I have a lot to share, but I think I'm excited that we were able to make history and make our mark during a pandemic.
I think she was dropped.
Oh, did we lose her? Oh no. Okay, well that happens with everything, and I may not be able to get it on Facebook today because I actually had a little snafu in true Times Square Fashion Week fashion. I had a tree fall in my neighborhood and ended up losing electricity. It was still off, so I had to actually drive 20 minutes over to my friend's house to use hers. So, and she lives out in the country, so her Wi-Fi is a little bit lower than mine. So I'm hoping that I don't drop as well. So,
you're a trooper.
It's just, I swear, it's just been one of those situations, and that is the situation. That has been kind of how Times Square Fashion Week went. Whatever could go wrong did go wrong.
One of the great things about having a community, then, if someone falls, the other one's there to pick up the torch and keep it going.
That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah, just one thing after another. Well, hopefully Dee will be able to jump back on. I will just let you guys know, Dee was actually moving apartments during Times Square Fashion Week. And when she got to her new apartment, they had not had the internet turned on. Oh, and God. She was struggling to put on this event the week before it with no internet. So that went wrong.
Oh, anyway, that little thing. Oh.
Anyway, so I want to introduce Elian Syed of Throw NYC, who produced our beautiful Times Square Fashion Week face mask. I actually have one right here. I will pop on so we can see how pretty it is.
Oh, I love it.
Look at that.
And it's comfortable too.
Oh, it does. You can just tell the way it just grabs your face.
Yeah, right.
Blended. And so these are actually the most comfortable masks that I've ever worn. You know, I've had several since March, and they're just incredibly comfortable. So you can actually get one yourself if you go to timessquarefashionweek.nyc. These are a fundraiser for City Harvest, which is the charity that we're supporting for Times Square Fashion Week, because there are still so many New Yorkers that are out of work. There's a lot of food insecurity, and we wanted to help. Hey, Dee's back. So anyway, so Times Square Fashion Week.
Sorry, my computer hung up my other computer.
We understand. So go get your mask, order today. We're doing a shipment out this afternoon.
Oh, good.
I think Dee's microphone has to be muted.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And so if you order it during this webinar, we'll actually be able to ship it out to you today. So next I want to introduce Noel of True Model Management, who's one of our regular panelists and who graciously offered her space at her modeling agency for us to do the hair and makeup. Del, couldn't have done it without you.
You're amazing. I feel honored to be involved, and anything anyone in the community needs, feel free to reach out always.
Well,
you did a spectacular job.
Thank you. Thank you. And Justin Haynes is one of our designers that participated. Hey, Justin, how are you?
Hello, good, how are you?
Yeah, we're so looking forward to hearing about your experience and your really fun collection. It was so bright and beautiful. And then we have Eric Vitale, who was our photographer for the day. One of the people who suffered the most because he worked really, really hard from early in the morning till very late at night.
Oh,
it was so awesome to be a part of it and to work with all of you again. It was wonderful.
Well, we really appreciate your talent. Dee and I have worked with you several times, and we just, know you're one of the best photographers in New York City in the fashion industry. And we've just loved working with you at New York Fashion Week. And, always know we're going to get fabulous results.
Thank you so much.
I second that sentiment, Melissa. Eric went above and beyond for everyone that night and for True Model Management especially. Ours were the last billboards to go up, and he was at 1 foot in an Uber, 1 foot, ready to run home after being up and not eating for hours. And he said, "Oh, yours are just coming on. I'm going to stay." And he stayed and took pictures of everyone. He was phenomenal. Thanks again, Eric and Dee and Melissa.
That was such a great moment for everyone, and I wanted to make sure it got captured.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is there a link? Is there a link for the photos I missed? Did I miss an email with a link?
Yeah, we're still getting, we just actually got the final batch from Eric, and we're starting to get them out to everybody and starting to post them as well. So yeah, we should be able to get everything out to everybody by tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. And then also we've got Kat Schuler, who's the curator and creative consultant for High Tech Moda. And she works with Pamela Privet, who's the producer of their New York Fashion Week show each season, which has been held at the National Geographic encounter in Times Square. And Catherine, I know you guys did some stuff during Fashion Week with our VIP member, Baza Studios.
yeah.
So
Thank you for that contact. Oh, it was great.
Well, we wanted to give you a chance to tell us about your experience too. And, because this is the new world that we're living in. And so we're all here to learn together. So first thing I want to do is actually want to show people some pictures of Times Square Fashion Week so that everybody can get an idea of, what the event was like. And then we'll go through and we'll talk about individual things. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. It was, so can everybody see the screen?
Yeah.
Here's a lovely picture of our Mistress of Ceremonies, Jean Shafaroff, and our designer, Justin Haynes. So Dee, you want to tell us a little bit about Jean and how you got her involved in this event? Unmute.
I think we lost her again. I don't.
No, she's muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So Jean Shafaroff is a good friend, but she also she's a philanthropic socialite in New York City. She does so much for animal rights, human rights, food justice, and so she graciously took her time and donated her time to come to this event, and she definitely did a great job, and she just does a lot for the community, whether it's in New York City, the Hamptons, but she's very, very much involved. So just Google her to the audience and you'll see who she is.
Yeah, we were so appreciative, and she did a fabulous job introducing all the designers.
Yeah. And I have to say, very approachable and very polite.
Very much. She's very sweet. Yep.
Awesome.
So this is one of the designers, Senya NYC, and she had a lovely, beautiful collection. The photos that Eric took were just gorgeous, and, just really beautiful work.
Wow. Looks beautiful.
Here, Olga Ferrara is the influencer in New York City. I thought the Times Square Fashion Week mask looked so perfect.
Oh, God, with that outfit.
It was just gorgeous.
Pink and blue.
Here's Dee, the founder, introducing the event.
Aw.
And and then we also had Gail Brewer. Dee, you want to talk to us about Gail?
Yeah, so Gail is the Manhattan Borough President of New York City. And again, I've done many events with her for City Harvest, for Inner City Kids, for Food Justice. So she graciously came, supported this event because honestly, would have been extremely hard if we did not have Gail's support.
Yes.
Because all the permit offices were closed. New York City was not giving out anything to anybody. But because of her support, we were able to do this event.
Yeah, that's amazing. Amazing. She made it all possible. Oh, there's another great picture of Dee.
Oh my God, I hate these pictures, but okay.
No, I love
That's
this
a great
picture.
picture. Stop being
That's
so
an awesome picture. You're in your element, Dee.
Oh my God, I love this picture. I didn't
critical. There you are again.
at a bad angle.
This is designer Sherelle Towns. Dee, can you?
Yes,
Her name's
her collection is called Zevon Key.
Zevon Key. She has this beautiful model from the Naomi group in this a beautiful suit dress. It's just gorgeous. A really great collection. A really super adorable designer. Here's the lineup of all the models. Nice shot there.
Wow,
this
love
was
it.
one of our VIP
Special guests.
Dee?
Yeah, this is our special VIP guest representing New York City.
This is
and it's actually Laura in the background saying, "Oh."
so funny.
The parliamentary of Fungi, George Clinton. It looks like George Clinton.
That is so
Well,
Yeah.
he behaved quite politely.
Yeah,
Yes.
he did.
He didn't need to say anything in that outfit.
He entered
This
right
is what
behind my
happened.
seat and then past Anthony, and we're both like, oh no. We look at security and we're like, check it out. But he was amazing. He was there to represent
that's
New
New
York. He
York.
was calm
That's
and
New
peaceful.
York.
And he was the one cheering the loudest.
Yes, he
great
was.
for every designer.
He's
In
very
the
happy to
end,
be
he had
here.
his
Yeah.
style, his own fashion style. It was great.
Oh,
I'll tell you that. I think that picture's going to make the New York Times.
It should. It's amazing.
Well, that's one of the big risks you take with doing anything in Times Square. You never know who's going to show up or what's going to happen.
Yep.
Right,
Expect the
right.
unexpected at any event.
Yep. This is one of my favorite pictures that Eric took. This is House of Baretti. The designer is the young woman with the long brown hair and the pink suit. That's Isabella Barrett. And Dee, you want to tell us a little bit about her? Because she's got some really special things going on.
Yeah, so Isabella Barrett is, she has her own reality TV show. She used to be on Princess Tiaras, and then she created her own show called The Next Best Thing. So Amazon did film this event, and it's going to feature our event on episode number 6 on Amazon TV, October.
Nice. Look how empty the streets are. OMG.
Yep, that's what made it really great for a photo shoot. We would have never been able to have great pictures like this in normal times.
Never.
And then there's the lineup. I think, and here's how everybody is so nicely socially distant.
Yeah.
Completely COVID compliant.
Very COVID compliant, and the thing that's one of the reasons why it was basically the only people that could attend were the people who were actually involved in the event, because we had to keep it to 50, and shockingly, it really took a lot of people to pull this off.
Yeah. Exactly.
So the designers, the models, the sponsors, and then of course the media. So, and then the other cool thing that we did, that was one of the things that we'll discuss as being one of the most difficult things that we pulled off, was doing a digital fashion show on the Times Square billboards. This is an idea that Dee and I would love to develop into something even bigger. It really gives designers and brands an opportunity to get this kind of exposure and PR activity in Times Square when normally these boards are extremely expensive. So you could not do them as just like an individual person. In most cases, it's only for big corporate companies. So we've been able to help. So this is Anika Becker, one of our Fashion Mingle members. A story, she has this beautiful line of, well, we have a great picture of Dale that I'm going to show too with one of the story's dresses, but Christina donated this Brooklyn mask to our VIPs, and they were in the swag bag.
Oh, nice.
Here's a great shot of
oh, wow.
Marcel Gacom, one of our Fashion Mingle members, who is one of the designers, and she unfortunately got stuck out in California and couldn't come back, and so actually missed being in the show, but she shipped her collection out. So, you know, we took care of her, and Eric got some fabulous shots. This one's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And this is Gloria Lee, one of our regular mastermind attendees. And Gloria is another New York designer. And this picture, you can't really see it, but she has this very intricate embroidery on the dress, and so it's white on white, but she also had like an angel concept, and so she had feathers, and New York Makeup Academy did provided all the hair and makeup stylists for this event, and so, you know, they have the white feather eyelashes on her, did a beautiful job on the hair. And this is Kimberly Pucci, who does this. This is her model, but these are her handbags. Kimberly is out on Long Island, and very, very visible and active among, you know, the Hamptons crowd. And these are her handbag line that she featured at the.
And those are the stairs, the Duffy Square stairs, right?
Yep. All the designers got to do a photo shoot on the red stairs. So that was a very iconic location. And here's Justin's collection. This is Justin, we can always rely on to really provide some very colorful, fun outfits. Justin's done multiple things with Fashion Mingle and Dee. Justin was featured at CoverGirl in February. And we've also had him at our New York Fashion Week party. So we just always love having Justin involved. He always brings it.
Yeah.
There's another picture of Jean Shafaroff with the New York taxi behind her. I felt like that's so iconic.
They're still out there.
Oh, and this is my favorite.
Oh my God, that's Dale's dress.
Look at that. This is Christina's dress with a story. And so she has a line of clothing that is digitally printed with New York motif, Miami motif, and Detroit motif. And Christina is a New York designer, but due to COVID, she moved back home to Detroit. And so, but we hope we have her back again soon.
That looks awesome. I saw that dress before, Dale. I love that.
And she's a good friend,
awesome.
right, Dale?
I'm sorry, Melissa?
She's a good friend of yours, right?
Yeah, she's great. I didn't even know when I was planning to wear that she was in the event. And then I called her and said, I want to wear something of yours, because I always get so much attention when I wear her pieces. And yeah, I'm a friend and a customer, and she covers LA as well. So yeah, it's a whole lifestyle brand that is just booming, and her pieces are so versatile. That I usually wear as a skirt, but then felt like I needed a dress that day. And
I saw you with that in a skirt.
Yeah. And reversible.
It's really a fun collection. I love what she's doing.
Yep.
And here's Elion's beautiful silk mask that they've created. You can actually get this on throw.nyc. And so, Elian, tell us about your mask. I mean, obviously tell us about the Times Square mask, but tell us about this new collection of silk scarf masks you have
Yes.
out.
So thank you, Melissa and Dee, for the opportunity to take part of in this event. For us, was very it was an honor, and it was very interesting to be part of the first event post-COVID. And I have to say to you too, Melissa and Dee, you made something happen, and I'm sure next year is going to be much bigger because if you can succeed in an environment like that,
Oh God.
congratulations. So going back to the masks, Melissa and Dee invited us to participate with the masks, the T2X masks for the event, the Fashion Week event. And at the same time, we were launching a line of silk scarves that are face coverings. They transform themselves into masks. They are scarves, and we have a patent pending. It's they transform in masks.
Wow.
Okay, so they are available already. So I wore it yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday, and there was a concert at the Mondrian, the rooftop. Everybody asked me, "Where did you buy this?"
Yeah.
So,
That's
these are
so useful.
Yeah, so we have a collection of scarves. This is the 42X, and we have another one that has, it's more a long scarf that has the antimicrobial lining in between these two faces here that you can wear as a scarf, or you can, if you're sitting on a plane, like they always flies back and forth, I'm missing my flights. You can, this is for men or for women. We have other prints that are for men.
So the loops are on the scarf.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, and there are two sides, one side that's shorter, one side that's longer.
Oh,
So
oh,
you can wear
great.
as a face mask.
Oh, awesome.
And some other masks that are the more traditional. Oh, with the antimicrobial, very comfortable. And we are using excess silk, dead stock, because we cannot forget that the DNA of our company is sustainability. So Anthony went out of his way and to find dead stock silk. So that makes also the price more affordable.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we could cut the price because we were using, that's why we are not going to have somebody loves a print. We have limited number of pieces for each. So there is a collection available on throw.nyc, and we took the opportunity to launch with the event with Fashion Week, the Times Square Fashion Week.
So it's Throw? Is that the name of it? Throw?
Throw.nyc, yes.
Right.
And the original DNA of the company was to, still is, to upcycle materials, excess materials from fashion houses and banners from trade shows. And one day, Anthony works with sustainability for more than 30 years. He teaches at fashion sustainability at FIT. He's part of the faculty, and he sits in the board of several entities, and he speaks about sustainability all over. So, and he's a hands-on designer. Justin may know that he designs he knows from A to Z from the process. So, and we are manufacturing everything locally. That's part of our commitment. And it was very impressive that that Anthony had the relationships that made us afloat during this pandemic. And actually we transformed immediately into making masks. And our first project was to make 279,000 fireproof masks for a company called Tyndale. And that opened the door for several things. We worked like 70 hours a week during the pandemics. That was amazing, okay? So, and for us, so what is happening with and I don't know if I'm jumping the gun and speaking about the pandemic. I know this question is coming up, so maybe I stop here, okay? So, but it was a great opportunity to do the Fashion Week masks. And we have also this mask, and part of all the proceeds from Throw, we donate for the World Kitchen Bank. All
Oh,
the-
wow.
Kitchen.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we have a percentage
Yeah.
that goes to the World Kitchen Bank. It's a
Awesome.
commitment because there's a lot of people, and when you walk in New York City nowadays, it is sad. I don't
That's
know.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, like I said earlier, the Times Square Fashion Week mask, the quality of the construction and the, feeling like you could wear them for a long period of time. I mean, they were tested seriously at Times Square Fashion Week, and they were very comfortable. It was not hot to wear them. And of course, with these, I'm anxious to try one of your silk scarves. I think that looks perfect for traveling on a plane.
Yeah, and you can wear it as a scarf as well.
Right.
So it is a scarf.
Right.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's going to
yeah.
be perfect for traveling on planes. I'm really excited about that. Well, we've also got Gloria Lee, who I am going to attempt to bring. Gloria is one of our designers, and I'm going to actually add her to the webinar. So hopefully there she is.
Oh, that was the white dress, the white on white.
Yes. Yeah.
And it
Hopefully,
was beautiful. The embroidery was beautiful.
Oh, I love that.
yeah. Hopefully she'll be able to get on her video, because I didn't really give her any warning. Oh, there she is.
Hi, Gloria.
Everyone. Hi, nice to meet you all.
Yeah, great work. I love your
Thank
stuff.
you. Thank you so much. Yes, it was
Did I meet you
kind
at
of
the Cover Girl event that night?
I did.
Yeah.
It was not entirely like a brand new design specifically for the season, but I think it's a very iconic piece for Gloria Lee because it's a design with the zero waste pattern making.
Yep.
And it's decomposable silk. So that's why I added embroidery for this collection, which is about like hope and bringing back positivity to the world, hopefully after the pandemic. Yeah.
God, we need it.
So,
Yeah.
And
yes.
that's what I love it. Both of our designers we have featured on here today are have sustainable lines. Justin, you actually do upcycling. So tell us about Justin was actually one of the featured designers who did the street shooting, which Eric was the photographer for the Times Square street shoot. And then he also got to present his collection during the press conference, which Gloria did as well. And they both got to have their pictures taken on their models on the red stairs. So Justin, tell everybody a little bit about your brand, and then tell us about what it was like doing. First of all, I want to know what it was like getting your models ready with all the COVID restrictions which we did at True Model Management.
Well, first, let me thank you, Melissa, and you, Dee, for giving designers like me this type of opportunity, because I don't know if designers know, but I think they should know, especially on this type of platform. A lot of designers don't get the opportunities that I've gotten with you all. So I want to first thank you all for allowing me to be where I am right now. I have to say, well, I'm Justin Haynes, CEO, founder of Justin H, where I specialize in men's, women's, and children's clothing. I do a lot of upcycling, but I also use all types of fabrics. Upcycling to me is something that I take heart in. I don't like to throw anything away. If there's an old rug, an old carpet, or old curtains, whatever it is, I try to make something out of it, and I try to make sure that it's useful to my customers. I am a designer who kind of sticks to the straight customers. I go strictly by my customers. I don't like to do a lot of repeats and designs. And that's one good thing about upcycling. I can use a pair of drapes on a customer and you won't see it again. So I'm very, I try to stay unique in that. My experience being there all day was absolutely amazing. I have to say, to have a video team follow me, to have a photographer as Eric shooting me, and just the things that went on during the day was absolutely amazing. And then to be able to participate in the press conference and the billboard was another amazing event. I will say this was one difficult time to be able to house and dress your models, to make sure makeup was okay, make sure hair was okay because of so many restrictions. with being in the same room, not being able to be in the same room, you know, having to give your message to somebody else that this is what I want for makeup versus going actually in the room and touching them and doing all types of that. So I would say that was a very huge challenge for a designer that's hands-on like I am. But we made the best out of it. Another challenge was too, you know, going from being there in the morning to do your shoot, then have to go back and then go, because usually, you know, there's rooms where you can just stay all day, but not being able to stay in one particular spot all day and have your own space and that type of thing was very challenging. However, I do think that not only myself, but the other designers, we all managed well. We were very respectful of each other's time, each other's space, and we actually made sure that we worked together to make the best out of the situation. So I don't think it was, even though it was a challenge, I think we made the best out of the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, we had Zui Pulsakar is one of, she's a graduate of Parsons, and she's been interning with us off and on for events over the last year. And Zui actually managed the True Model Management location, worked with the New York Makeup Academy, Claire Perez's team to, you know, get everybody in place, worked with the designers, got the models checked in, made sure everything was COVID compliant, cleaned, you know, all of the, she did the international set COVID compliance test, so that she actually got a certification so that she would be completely prepared. So
she did an amazing job. I have to say that there was nothing that she left out of tap. Like, she made sure we knew what we were doing. She had contact with us. So that's, I think, was another major part to help us kind of keep everything cohesive, is that she was on us and she made sure that if it was too many people, we had to stay where we were in order to come back. So I really think, you know, she was very hard, but she was such a sweet, you know, and you know, the way she handled us was very good, I have to say that. And she made sure that we stuck to guidelines. So it was amazing.
Yeah, that's what I love about Zui, is she's so sweet, but she means business, you know?
Exactly.
She's worked with us on so many things, and she's just such a great professional for such a young person.
Yeah, so other than that, I thought from a designer's point of view, to get the exposure that we've gotten, all the press and everything, I absolutely think in a pandemic, you all did an amazing job for a designer like me. And to actually have my billboard, even though there was some, you know, we were all sitting there waiting for it. But I have to say,
yeah,
we were like,
talk about the billboard disaster.
But it was amazing. It was, you know, but I have to say, you know, my hat's off to you all for even, you know, giving opportunities like this for designers like me. I've gotten so much exposure from CoverGirl, and even now after being at Times Square, you know, it makes everything that we have to do that day worthwhile. Like it was all worth it, you know. So again, thank you all.
Well, we love having you and Gloria. We have so many amazing designers at Fashion Mingle that, you know, are just so passionate and so creative, and we just love providing these opportunities. So Eric was the photographer, and Eric shot Gloria and Justin, and so we'll talk about their photography experience. But Eric, just tell us, was this the first time you've ever shot in Times Square, or have you done this before?
Oh no.
A lot of times I've shot in Times Square.
Okay.
You know, this time is obviously very different, you know, because of the pandemic. Times Square was, you know, very quiet, very, very quiet for Times Square. But what was nice to see is that, and I think we've seen this in the past, those of us who are here in the city, that we've seen New York, there's been a resurgence. You know, people are coming back. People are out in the streets more. More and more businesses are opening back up. So I'm actually very encouraged right now. I think New York is really doing well, you know, despite all the challenges we're facing. And I was thrilled to be, you know, in Times Square working again, working with all of you. I had an amazing day. You always bring the best people to the table. I've always had such a positive experience with your designers. New York Makeup Hair Academy, their team is always so professional, so knowledgeable. all the media teams that are there as well, the designers, everyone is just, there's just such an air of positivity that the teams that you always bring together. So that's why for me, it's such a joy to be a part of it at any time, whether it's, we're backstage during Fashion Week, at Spring Studios, or we're out in Times Square, or CoverGirl. So for me, it was great. It was great to be like in Times Square. I think it was a great launching point, to let everyone know that New York is as strong as ever.
Yeah.
Ground zero.
Eric was amazing to us too as designers. Like, he made sure that whatever we needed was taken care of. So Eric, hats off to you too.
Oh, it was, the honor was mine, honestly. Like, to photograph all of your amazing designs, and your teams and your models that you brought with you were just, they were great. It made my job so much easier because we got such beautiful, strong designs to start with. It's half the job right there. And what I always love, and I don't always get this as a photographer, is actually being able to be there with the designers while that was a huge plus for me, because I was able to like just at one point, like we were able to like, look, I work better when I'm collaborating with the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just say like, oh, I've got a certain vision, I think this will look great, but I want to know, as a designer, how is this piece looking right now? I think this could look good, but maybe the jacket needs to be put back a little bit, or the dress needs to be adjusted, whatever it may be. So that was a real joy to actually be able to collaborate with you all there.
And it was I put everybody's Instagram in the chat, because I do want you to make sure that you're following, especially Eric, Justin, and Gloria. You'll be able to see a lot of pictures from the event and see their beautiful designs.
Beautiful. They're very beautiful.
Really was beautiful. And Fashion Mingle will be starting to put out a lot of the content as well. I guess that's like, Dee, let's talk about how this event happened.
Yeah, right.
and like how we, it was.
Okay, you want me to talk about how it happened and what happened?
We are not hearing you at all. It's very
okay. Can you hear me?
We need subtitles.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh my God! Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
yes.
I think you
hear me now?
really regret moving to that new apartment.
Can you hear me now?
Well,
you're moving. I'm in the hospital.
Explain,
you're moving. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. I can kind of explain how things happen.
I'll show this side because there's a lot of boxes.
Dee actually moved to a new apartment the week before Times Square Fashion Week, which also meant that her apartment totally blew
You can't hear me, right? You can't hear me.
So, and it sounds
well.
like
We can hear you, but not well.
She's still having internet problems. Obviously, we're going to have to get a booster for her apartment.
Yeah.
So, and poor Dee. So anyway, maybe we'll do a Facebook Live with her at some point where she can really tell the whole story. Yeah, because we're not able to hear her now. But basically, I'll kind of go back to the
I see all your mess.
And so Dee had this idea. Actually, Dee had the idea for Times Square Fashion Week like well over a year ago. She bought the domain. She got the trademark. She actually had Eric out last September to do a shoot for her Latinista magazine brand, and I think the collection was from Cesar Galindo, and so it was her vision has always been to have like a real runway experience in Times Square, and so of course Fashion Mingle just thought that sounded like the best idea in the world. And we produced our first fashion week fashion show in February. And so we had, you know, I have covered New York Fashion Week backstage as with the media team for like a decade. So I was pretty familiar with, you know, how it works, and then did my trial by fire in February. And so Dee asked me to come on as the executive producer with her and help put on this event. And the one great thing about Fashion Mingle is we just have such a great team of volunteers, and we have this wonderful network where we can just like go out and say, oh, this is what we need. And, you know, we've got so many people that we can call on. And so, but the very difficult part of this was actually getting permission to do it, right? And at the moment she was just starting to get the permission, COVID happened. And
wow.
The city shut down. She was in touch with, you know, Gail Brewer, the Manhattan Borough President's office, going to get the permits, all that stuff. And then poof, COVID happened. Everything got shut down. So even though she had verbal approval in April, we still didn't have written approval.
Wow.
And so then, of course, COVID was happening. Then in May, the protests happened. Then the looting happened. Then they got New York open, you know, partially in June. And so we actually didn't get the permit until July. So that made it very hard to pull this thing off. We literally had 2 months to pull it off. And so luckily Dee has amazing contacts in Times Square. She's been selling the the Times Square billboards for years. We've had Justin on the billboards in the past, you know, different designers. We did a lot of fun stuff in February, CoverGirl.
Yeah.
But, so that was how the billboard situation happened. And Dee, I just really wish that we could hear you.
Easy.
You're gonna slit your wrist.
She's slitting her wrist.
So
oh my God.
So the most
and she's
painful
frozen
thing,
like this.
I'll talk to Dale about how this billboard situation went down, because she and I ended up suffering the most. So this was the thing that went wrong. You know, whenever you're planning an event.
Can I say something? When she said she was going to, if she had a machine gun, she would.
Yeah.
You know, I said, oh my God, she was completely. Can you hear me, Dee?
Yeah. Yeah, you can hear us, obviously.
It was tough. I mean, so we put together this package where the designers and the sponsors and also some different brands, beauty and fashion brands, could promote on a digital fashion show. We had 5 screens, and you were going to be able to see your pop from screen to screen. So we were super excited about that.
I was.
And everybody got their artwork done. Throw and Dale, they went to their videographers. They got their content created to just the perfect specification of these very unique billboards. And then literally like 2 days before the fashion show, 2 of the billboards break. And they tell Dee that it's just not, they're not going to get fixed. And they were like, well, sorry. But Dee was like, oh no, you're getting me a billboard. Yeah. And so we were just like horrified because everybody was really counting on this experience. And so luckily the person that Dee worked with in Times Square, Matt, he really came through. He gave us that beautiful billboard that was just literally steps from where we were having the event. But what it meant was we had to resize all the graphics.
Oh,
so I literally spent 18 hours. 18 hours
over the weekend.
event.
That is crazy.
resizing.
Wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you
all
know?
of the designers graphics,
Yeah.
but I couldn't resize Elian's graphics from Throw or Dale's because they were video files. Oh my
Right.
God. And then so Dee and I were working Monday night, the Monday night before the event, and like you were trying to get your files done Monday night. So tell us about that experience.
Yeah, and it was a holiday weekend too.
Oh, that's right.
We usually
A long
work with.
weekend,
It's
yeah.
like gone fishing on vacation. So pretty much everyone on the Fashion Mingle team was, you know, in touch with everyone they know, trying to get it done because, as you know, the show must go on, and leave it to Melissa and Dee. They will not stop until it's done and done with perfection. And both of you and all of your team kept calm under pressure. And we all know, anyone who's produced events, that expect the unexpected, you know, plan for the worst, hope for the best, and all of that. But the challenges were intensified during COVID and holiday and under pressure. And I have to say, hands to you, kudos. You did a phenomenal job, even when everything seemed like it was crumbling. Pulled it off, and yeah, everyone had to do a lot of work and helped each other, and the end result was just phenomenal. It was.
Were you able
said,
to resize your video, Dale? Were you able to resize it? How did you deal with that?
No, we wound up not having like videos, but we did have images, and it really was like during the time they were supposed to be on, we were still transferring files because things changed by the minute. But
right,
you know, Dee had her phone and her laptop right there, standing in front of the billboard and talking. I'm talking the program.
Oh my
from my phone. Like, did you get that file? That one didn't come through. They were huge files, and one thing after another. But anyone going there to watch would have never known how much work went by, and
or what wasn't supposed to be and what was. Yeah.
Yeah, Catherine, you could speak to that on many events. We've done events together. Catherine,
yeah, you just got to be grace under fire. You know, malleable. You're not judgmental, because that doesn't get it done.
Yeah, it really is the calm under pressure and resiliency and resourcefulness.
You want to speak, look, she cannot.
She wants to talk so bad.
It's easy to say now when you're losing it.
She's losing it, look, she's coming.
I use the F word so much.
She used the F word so much.
Yeah. Well, then, so we got so because of all of the drama, I mean, I was actually putting photos together from like, I don't know, it was like, I got done at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the event was happening at 5. And so like no time to change, no time to do my makeup, nothing.
Oh, you look gorgeous.
So, well, luckily Dee and I had gotten a room at the one of the only hotels open in Times Square.
Right.
We stayed at the Citizen M, which was a fantastic hotel, and we took over their business center and just really like knocked it out. But I mean, it was like literally, you know, right up to the last minute getting Dale's files in. Then we, you know, Dee and I rushed down, and we've got a team there. Sneha and Donnie is like our my assistant producer on all of our events, and I mean, Kat actually introduced me, and I have to always say they're very thankful to Catherine for introducing me to Sneha years ago, because she's been such an important part of Fashion Mingle. And so I knew Sneha would make it happen, whatever, you know, was going on down there. I didn't have to be there. I knew it would happen. But then we also had amazing volunteers. We had Shay Jafar, who actually is like, she's an entrepreneur herself. She's got an e-commerce site that she features these amazing designers. Her company's called Nomad Story, but she was actually our stylist for the day, and her sister was here from Egypt, and who is also a fashion designer and, you know, trained for shoots. And so Shay and I actually did the styling throughout the day, but then they also just like when we started to panic, they just jumped in and started working. And so they managed a huge part of it. Zooey was there by then. She was managing it. We had Awadia, who had reached out to me just a couple weeks before the event as a photographer, and she just wanted to see how she could be involved because she'd actually been on one of our webinars in the past. So she was shooting all day, but she jumped in as a volunteer because she could see that we needed help. And then the graphic designer for the mask, Shruti, actually came and she jumped in, and Dee had one of her team members there, Adia. And so Audie was out running around all day, you know, getting things for the event. So it really was a team effort. It takes so many more people than you think to pull off these events, and especially to deal with, you know, the things that go wrong. So we did pull off the event. You know, I thought the ceremony went great. The designers, you know, were presented. And then we end up, like, we go down to the billboard at 7 o'clock to watch this beautiful digital spray of images, and the images are not on. And Dee is like on the phone, Matt, and he's like, something's wrong. And they could not fix it from their end. And we had like 50 people waiting to see these images. And so what had happened, so this was just another, like, everything that could go wrong.
Right.
Sorry, there's a phone ringing in the background. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. We actually, so what happened was the bill. Hopefully, I'm at my friend's house because my electricity went out.
Weird that Melissa is working from home, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and I'm not even like, I'm at my friend's house because the electricity went out at my house because
exactly.
I want to hear the end of the story.
Of course the phone's gonna ring. So anyway, so then
everybody's waiting.
So the digital fashion show isn't showing, and everybody's waiting. Everybody's exhausted because of the day we've had. And what had happened was the US Polo had a store directly beneath the billboard.
Right.
They closed their store that day, and controls for the billboard were in the store, and the store was not open. They could not get a hold of the store manager. And so Matt was trying to, like, override it from his billboard system. And it was just like, oh my gosh, what else?
You can't even anticipate that.
No, I mean, everything that went wrong with the billboards was so crazy. And then, so Dee and Matt were about ready to give up. People were starting to leave.
Oh.
And then poof, all of a sudden they're on. After I think it was about 50 minutes, we waited.
One fun moment though, Dee was on the phone and she was like, I'm putting these designers on because you're going to do something today for them. So it was just her, I think her persistence and your persistence is what really got it done, because all was like really getting ready to leave. And she was like, you're going to do something today. And like immediately everybody's picking up stuff, getting ready to walk away. And it's like, boom, it's like these bright lights. We're all by Coach or by Ray-Ban. And I have to say this, I'm like, wow, this was actually really worth it, because soon as we went up, soon as my billboard went up, it's Coach, it's Ray-Ban. It's like we're all by these major brands. So I'm like, you know, things happen for a reason. You know, I think it was meant to happen, but I will say Dee was not giving up until something. The
universe felt her persistence.
It was great. It was great, Finesse. Like, whole show of the whole day to see everybody's work on the billboard. It was amazing. And I'm really happy that it came through.
It was such, I mean, Dee's one of the hardest workers I've ever seen, and her persistence is incredible. And I mean, Matt knew he better come through, and he did. He tried really, really hard, and that just goes to show you the great relationship that she's been able to develop with one of her workers, where you know, they really, you know, did everything.
Matt wanted to do it for you. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's what's important about.
Congratulations, Dee and Melissa.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Can we send Matt some flowers?
Congratulations.
We need to take Matt for dinner.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, she did grab a bottle.
I have a great bottle of wine if you want. Well, Black Baron could send him some wine.
Baron, exactly.
I don't know why. My main billboard was not shown, and it's a model covering herself.
Right.
The male model in the background. They are wearing a mask.
Right.
And the title is, If You Wear Nothing, Wear a Mask. And it was considered nudity. Nothing was showing. However, you look around and you see all these billboards with girls with very suggestive and vulgar positions, okay? Like American, I forgot, American Eagle, or the Shapewear company. And this was a very elegant billboard. She's covering herself, and the male model in the background, they are wearing 2 masks. And this
Wear
logo
nothing else,
says,
wear a mask.
"Wear
Yeah.
nothing, wear a mask." So a message of responsibility to people.
You should have
correct?
said if you wear nothing
And
else,
it was
wear a
considered
mask.
nudity. And unfortunately, that adds a very strong message. Actually, we launched our campaign with this message, and we're having a lot of anyway, so why is it considered nudity? Something that is not nudity, and it's not suggestive of vulgarity. That's Times Square, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's the message that went with it when you wear nothing.
Do you have the
Can
photo
you hear
to share now?
Dee?
You sound like you're underwater.
Eliane, do you have the photo handy that you could show?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Just share screen it.
Yeah.
Is it on your computer?
Yeah,
You
it's
can
on my-
just hit the share screen and show us the campaign.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to show.
So while she's looking for it, Gloria, so tell us about your experience.
You
got
still
to
can't hear me?
No.
Oh, okay. Eliane's got us up. Okay, we'll go back to
I
that
have
in a
to
minute.
put the
Okay.
correct
Okay.
one. Then, hold on a second.
Oh, that's not the right one.
I'm looking for it. Okay, this is it.
Gail, can you hear me?
It's because it keeps on flipping, so I have to show the correct one.
Take it back.
Yeah.
This one.
That'll be
That's the one that you did it.
Yeah, if you wear nothing else, wear a mask.
Oh,
It keeps on
yeah.
flipping.
There
I
it
don't
is.
know.
Okay.
I don't know how to show only that one. So
Yeah.
that was the photo shoot. But anyway, so that was the billboard that was not. Oh, sorry. I wish I could stop flipping.
No, I got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can.
We got it. We
let's
got
see.
it.
Okay, just take it off
Okay.
the screen
Yeah,
share, Eliane.
How do I do that? Hold on a second.
There should be
Take
like
the share
Yeah,
screen.
okay, stop share. I
There we
did.
go. Okay, there we go.
So that was a billboard that considered nudity.
Sorry.
I have
Okay,
Dee
good.
on the phone. Hold on 1 second. She wants to try and talk through my phone.
Who was it? Oh,
No?
Yeah, kind of.
Noel, Dell, can you hold it up to the speaker?
Microphone?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the reason it was considered nudity, they've done this with a lot of other brands, and I totally get you. The underwear, you're like, why could somebody wear underwear? And it was tastefully done. Your billboard was tastefully done, but they have certain requirements with some kind of like law that you're not supposed to put certain things on a billboard, and that was one of those things. It didn't show nudity, but it did show a woman covering her breast, and they considered that quote unquote nudity.
Yeah. Plus it said if you wear nothing else.
Yeah.
They own
Well-
their own billboard, so they could do whatever they want.
No, I understand. But I was surprised that in this DNA and age, people still
No,
consider.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was a great campaign. I know Anthony was really excited about it. So we'll find ways to
Thank you, Dale.
Facebook. We'll test it on Facebook and see if they let it through.
And we are putting on Facebook.
You have already put it on Facebook?
And Instagram, no
Oh,
problem.
perfect. Okay,
I
awesome.
guess it's
So far,
the naked cowgirl can do it, but not you.
Yeah, thank goodness. I was really hoping the naked cowboy and naked cowgirl would not show up in any of our pictures. Thank God.
Thank God.
So
That's Times Square.
Tell us about your experience. You got to present your collection in front of everybody. You got to do the red carpet. I mean, the red stair photo shoot.
Yes.
Tell us about how it went.
It was as good as the red carpet. I mean, I think it looks gorgeous. I had the model wear the white dress, so it looks really great with the backdrop. And Eric actually helped me did the street photo shoot, which we had to do it after the ceremony because the makeup took a little bit longer than we expected. And Dee and Eric really helped me. Yeah, I got the street photo shoot done, and the result came out gorgeous. I just shared it on my social media on Instagram, so you guys can feel free to check it out. And yeah, I think the whole experience was great. And it definitely, you know, it's funny how we talked about the naked cowboy and cowgirl, because we didn't have them, but we have another like New York local, the guy with like a very colorful tool.
Oh yeah, he was way better.
Yeah, I guess he is better, and he's like covered up.
More fashionable.
He had a message to deliver. Yeah. So yeah, I think the overall press conference went really well, and I was really impressed with how Jean, she like handled the situation, because when she was giving the speech of how New York need to encourage diversity and we're back in normal, and that guy, that local New York guy, he actually pulled up a message, Black Lives Matter, out from his hat out of nowhere. And Jean,
He did.
Everybody's political.
It was like, oh my God. And then but Jean really casually just like acknowledged it, and I think like she handled the situation very gracefully, and that made an impression of me. Like, you know, if there is an accident, handle it with grace and calm, like how everybody talked today. Like, I guess the experience is, even though there's fire burning everywhere, but you have to remain calm and just deal with it. Yeah.
Right. And
overall, yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah,
and the film was great.
I think that's a calmness on multiple levels, because I've been to many fashion weeks and events and red carpet, and the experience due to COVID made it a very different experience, but it was so special in many different ways. Usually when you go to fashion week, it's like, big hugs and everyone's loud and super crowded, and you're trying to walk through and get to your seat, and you know, it lasts for a minute, and then, you know, everyone's going out together. This was just like a calm, like quiet euphoria, and it was very emotional. I feel like for me and many other people that I talked to, even though we weren't like yelling and screaming and cheering and blasting music like it usually is, and it's a very like upbeat, this was very uplifting in a calm way, and it just felt so surreal to be in the middle of Times Square when everyone said it was impossible, and Dee and Melissa made it happen. They brought it to fruition. You know, despite every single challenge there was, they overcame it. So the thanks and praise that I got from all of our models who are on billboards, it was like a blessing in disguise. The new location was like right near Duffy Square, so everyone could easily walk by. The crowd went from like very, you know, sparse to being, you know, still socially distanced, but crowded and like a great energy, and musicians on the street, and it felt like New York is back.
Yeah.
You know, that was like the first day I had been back and out, you know, in public really, and everyone else could tell their experiences, but I just thought it was a phenomenal night, and very honored to be there and to share that experience with everyone.
How did Gail feel it went, Dee? How did Gail, did you get good feedback? Because boy, that's the piece right there.
She's gonna she's gonna have to call
Gail, I think she's talking about Brewer, right?
Yeah.
Gail Brewer, yeah. Was she pleased? I know we had to get a permit from Damian Santucci.
The message was very comforting. She was very happy that people were bringing business to the fashion district. And her point was to really revitalize New York City.
You're right.
Right. Fashion.
It's all about perception. You know, we can make this happen. It's about coming back and bringing back and bring back better, build back better.
She had a very positive message.
Great.
I have to agree with Gail.
Words.
Oh.
Go ahead, Dee.
Press secretary.
Yeah.
And Gail was like over the moon, and she said like this like email, she sent me a letter, which I could share with you, Melissa. She was like so happy. And Gail was like over the moon, and Damien, and he was like so all this like email. She sent me a letter, which I could share with you. You're the easiest person to work with. I was like, so happy and.
Yeah, we can't really hear.
Yes, Reggie. Come here. Come here. I spoke to Ian, and he was like so impressed, and we will be able to do something huge, much bigger.
Oh, good. Yes, good. Yes.
Cool. That's exciting to hear.
That's really what it's about too. Impressing them enough so they want you back.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear that, Dee, because we know we put Times Square Alliance through a lot. Damien was our contact there, and you know,
he's great.
He was super nervous about us doing this, you know, at the beginning. And every time we talked to him, he'd get a little bit more comfortable. But, you know, I think by the time September got there, you know, everybody had been open for a little bit and people felt like, okay, this is something that we can do that's not going to be dangerous. And then we were just hoping that the chaos that was created by the billboard situation, you know, made it not quite as prepared as we would have liked for the opening. And so we were worried that that would set a bad impression. But it sounds like, you know, he was okay with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And they've done a lot of events in time. Yeah. So they know things go wrong.
He told me not to call it an event, to call it a photo shoot.
Right. That was, we had to call it a press conference. Right. I know Justin's got something to add. Justin, you're on mute too. Oh.
No, I was saying I just had to agree with Dell. Like, the whole experience was definitely an emotional one. I think there was a lot of like emotions that I felt because I was actually, you know, there was a time, you know, this year that I didn't think that we would ever get back to what we went to, you know, what we had at Times Square. So I think like to be able to be in it and to kind of sit there was just like, wow, you know, it can actually still happen regardless. So I agree with you. Like, I think it was an emotional time to actually just reflect on things like, wow, we can still do this.
Yeah. And Kat, you guys did some stuff, you and Pam did. Tell us a little bit about what you did.
Well, you know, we did 2 designers. It wasn't more than, you know, that. It was a new designer, emerging designer, and then Ryan Fernandez from the Philippines. So I had him on standby for a few hours because then we could just go blast onto Zoom and up on Facebook Live. And then Pam, Baza is only 80 people maximum, so we could only do 33%. So we had to bring the male models in after the makeup people left from Claire's team. So we had to rotate like crazy, and you know, just do the video and then march everyone down the subway up to Times Square and just take, you know, it was like behind the scenes kind of capturing that. And then when we got up there, then all the models were up on the NASDAQ, the curved billboard. And so they were waiting and same kind of thing. There was a little bit of a snafu, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's the first time you've had to pivot like this. And you have to like allow for those kind of things. But I was in the hospital. I had a cellulitis bacterial infection. I couldn't even be there.
You didn't even get to go?
I didn't get to go. So I sent my assistants Jackson and Vex and all the people that helped me all the time. Thank you for having our back and for being there. And we did it. You know, it happened. And I think we're going to be in the New York Post. I think a couple of the models' moms were in the media. So we got a little bit of a mention, and it's just perception. We did something. You did something. We did something. We made it. And Times Square was really where it had to be, because there is no Spring Studios, Garment District. Nobody's around. I mean, it had to be that epicenter. I mean, Dee, you knew that because of CoverGirl, that was, you know, ground zero for a lot of your events. But that was really where it had to be held. because no one had any perception that anything else was going on in New York. So, and New York is not the way it was. We had that layer of security and, people milling about, and just you had to like really watch your back, So I think our team did a really great job. Thanks to Pam, thanks to Brenda. She was moving from Texas to Georgia, so I was in the hospital. So it was like you guys. It was like a layers and layers and layers. But somehow the universe must love fashion.
Well,
we want it to happen.
We've run late. I want to just end by asking everybody to go to timesquarefashionweek.nyc, purchase your branded face mask produced by Throw, and help us support City Harvest. Okay?
Yeah.
And then we'll end with Eric. Eric, just tell us, you're a perfect example of what the struggle is in the creative community in New York City, because as a photographer, your career depends on events, fashion shows, companies. I mean, just tell us a little bit what it's about, what it's been like being a photographer in New York City during COVID, and give us some hope for the future.
I will do my best to give.
That's a lot to ask.
It's been a challenging time for all of my colleagues in the industry. A lot of my colleagues, we shoot fashion. I myself and a lot of my colleagues, we do events, galas. Everything got canceled. Everything got shut down, as it should have been for what we're going through, what the world is going through right now. As creatives, we're doing our best to find ways to navigate through these times, whether it's pivoting to, maybe doing some more portraiture outside, just the most important thing is just keeping everybody safe during this time. So, gatherings, we're trying to avoid, but, obviously we want to be working during this time. We're trying to keep things, smaller scale. What I have seen is, there has been a little bit of a resurgence with smaller events. The people who are running the events are really doing a great job. I mean, this goes across a variety of platforms within not just the fashion industry, but in food, nonprofit sector, et cetera. People are really taking this seriously, which is good. And they're pivoting to larger spaces or outdoor spaces. We've had, it's been a warm summer here in New York, but we've been fortunate that it's been fairly decent weather. So we've been able to there have been some events that have been able to take place outside. And every time we're inside for a shoot, people are wearing their masks. New Yorkers have been wearing their masks. They've been keeping the distancing going on. And that's what's important in these times. So I bike around New York City, I bike around Manhattan. And while we're not always thrilled about the traffic that's here in Manhattan, what was great to me is that in the past 2 weeks, the traffic has increased tremendously, and not only car traffic, but foot traffic. And that's a very strong indicator that people are back, people are coming back to the city. Things are loosening up, the restrictions are loosening up, because I think New Yorkers are doing such a great job at, keeping themselves and keeping each other safe during this time. So it's a slow process, but I've seen my colleagues going out and doing more, on Instagram, and that gives me hope that we're going to see some semblance of normalcy coming back to our city soon. Because it's a challenging time, not just for us here in New York, but for the whole world. And creatives are, we're just trying to find different ways to, but this event was, what you put together was phenomenal for us, because it got us all out. It got us all out. It just showed that, New York is strong. And we were able to showcase these beautiful designs and give everybody within the creative arts, another opportunity to work and to come together. And it's not only just working, but I think the camaraderie that we all share, just being together, you know, and isolated so much during this time. All of us together, it filled me with a lot of joy that day, just to be around everyone, just to be able to work and do some creative work together.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Eric. I know it was it was just so, we were honored to have you because you're such a wonderful professional and such a great fashion photographer. I'm excited for everybody. Everybody's already been sharing the photos, so we have even more photos. It takes a while to process all these photos and videos, and it's something that I always like forget how much work that is, and so we're still getting them out, but we have all the photos sorted and ready to go, and we'll be you know, we've started sending them out. But thank you.
It's all good content, Melissa.
Thank you so
Very
much.
good. Thank you.
Hey, Gloria, congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Catherine. Hope you
Justin,
feel
thank you,
better
Gloria.
soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do feel better.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Dee. Okay, everybody have a great weekend.